What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful night. Thank you very much for stopping by. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, but you know, I'm a man of my word, so I'm here for you. Like I always promise you. I know many of you watch me twice a day, so I cannot drop you. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are very much appreciated. You know that. Please click on the button subscribe. This is your first time. I'm sure we're going to love each other. We're going to see each other very much often. We click on the button, subscribe, it's done. We're going to do this. Let's go. So, I greet you. You know, I see you from all over the place. Thank you very much for South Africa watching us. Sanibonani, Dumelang. Thank you so much. Uganda, Jebaleko, Basebonabanyao, Rwanda, Bite, Kenya, Tanzania, VP, Ghana. Sorry, I can't say everybody. Nigeria, Jamaica, not Afghanistan. United States of America. Thank you so much. Somalia, Ethiopia, Namibia, Sudan. I see you. Zambia. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go very quickly. Today we're talking about Niger. Niger. We've spoken about Niger quite a bit. Here is the map. I know many of us don't know where Niger is. Beautiful place, extremely hot, but yeah, lovely people. Niger has done something really, really amazing. Okay, so the president has abolished a law that was voted in 2015. This law basically said whoever came through Niger illegally in order to go to Europe was being arrested and condemned from 2 to 10 years imprisonment and 500 euros to be paid to leave. So in other words, whoever came through Niger illegally, or every Nigerian who hosted somebody illegally, you know, many sub-Saharan Africans wants to go to Europe. Okay, not everybody, but yeah, some want to go to Europe, hoping to get a better life. For some reason, they think Africa is not good enough. They think they can have a much better life going to Europe, in France. Even though in France you see a lot of homeless people, a lot of people. Yeah, it's crazy. No, it's not what you think. It's not. So the law says if somebody from Niger helped anybody from another country illegally from crossing the country, going to whichever country in the north in order to go to Europe, even the Nigerian will be condemned for 2 years to 10 years in prison. Now the law has been abolished. So basically what happened, that law was instated because the European Union financed Niger at the time. That was with the previous president, Mohamed Bazoum. So he received a lot of money coming from the European Union and many other countries in order to instate a law that will actually help them, help them keep Africans off Europe. Okay, that's it. So the chief of Niger military regime, General Abdurrahman Chani, abolished a law issued in 2015 that criminalized the smuggling of illegal immigrants seeking to reach Europe via Libya. Under the law, Nigerians who in one way or the other facilitated the transfer of foreign immigrants to the north, Libya and Algeria were subjected to criminal prosecution. So the law transformed Niger into a center of containing immigrants from West and Central Africa heading to north, as the capital Niamey hosted large reception center through which immigrants are returned to their country of origin. So basically, you understand what it is. The law transformed Niger, or Niamey, its capital, as a center, a cleaning center to return Africans back to their country because Niger received money from the European Union at the time. The European Union, the International Organization for Migration, and the United States also funded the process of strengthening borders control services. Obviously, you don't want Africans in your continent, you sponsor Niger so they can control them. Americans did the same to control Africans. Same as many NGOs to stop Africans, sub-Saharan Africans, from coming to the north. We know Morocco gets money from Spain, Italy. We know, some of these countries get money. So whatever they do is to stop you guys from going to the other side. Now, why has Niger abolished the law? That's a very good question, right? We all think it's a good thing to do because they call it human trafficking. Okay, they say it's a law to stop human trafficking and stuff like that. Let me just put it into concepts for you. What is human trafficking? Okay, yes, there's human trafficking, as you know. Now, this type of human trafficking is basically You as a Nigerian helping an Ivorian, for instance, crossing Niger to the next country, even though the Ivorian voluntarily wants to go to the next country so he can go to Europe, you are condemned, will be accused and charged of human trafficking. So it's not necessarily that you're harming this person, because when we hear human trafficking in this sense, specific sense, we tend to think it's you are harming somebody physically. But in this context, what they call human trafficking is basically you as a host allowing a foreign national to cross your country to go to the next one. They call it human trafficking. I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can manipulate words to suit your goals. That's what it is. Now, why has the Nigerian government abolished this law? Very simple. Niger decided to repeal the law in response to the position taken by the European Union against the July 26 coup, the support to the extremely harsh sanction announced by ECOWAS, and the calls for the return of the ousted president Mohamed Bazoum. So basically, European Union supported ECOWAS, okay, and asked for the return of the president Mohamed Bazoum. That's the reason why the new government in Niger said, we are abolishing this law. We've been protecting you for too long. We've been keeping these Africans away from Europe. Now we're going to let them pass. Haha, congratulations. Great. For context, Niger is a beautiful country. Again, like I said, here is a map. Lovely place, beautiful people. For many years, it was colonized by the French. Yeah, the French people colonized Niger the way they colonized many other African nations. They speak French, if you prefer, as a national language instead of their own local language. Very sad, but that's the situation. So in the 1960s, French people decided to leave the country. They say, okay, people from Niger, you are matured enough. We're going to let you live in your own country in independence. Yeah, officially, but unofficially, they got Niger by the balls. Yes, because France obviously ran the economy of the country. Niger is a great producer of uranium. Uranium is what you need for production for electricity. So France bought the majority of uranium produced in Niger to produce it on electricity. And that electricity, France had so much uranium, they sold electricity to other European countries. In the meantime, Niger did not have electricity. You know what I mean? Niger had to buy electricity for its own use from Nigeria. Yes, these are two different countries. Here is Niger, this is the map of Niger, and this is the map of Nigeria. Yes, they are neighboring countries, but they are completely two different countries. So Niger imports electricity from Nigeria, even though they've got so much uranium to give to France, and for France to produce enough electricity to sell to other European countries. That's how the country was run. Now, many years down the line, people of Niger said, you know what, enough is enough. Okay, our president is clearly not working for the interests of our people. He is allowing big companies from other countries to come into our country, to loot the country, to take the minerals and do other things and make a lot of money while our own people are suffering. So they decided to topple the president, Mohamed Bazoum. People who toppled Mohamed Bazoum were his own guard. Yes, the guard says, you know what, Mr. President, bye-bye. Fortunately for him, they didn't harm him physically, but they kicked him off power. Now, when they kicked him off power, countries of West Africa, unfortunately, they all stood against Niger. They said, no, you need to reinstate President Bazoum, who was legally elected. If you don't do that, we're going to come in by force, destroy you, and reinstate him. Yes. 15 countries of West Africa, they call the ECOWAS, Nigeria, Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire, and many other countries. They even put together weapons, military, and funding to get together to go and attack Niger. And then once they were ready to do that, two other countries of Africa say, you know what, you're not going to do that. It was Mali and Burkina Faso. Mali and Burkina Faso said, if you dare attack Niger, you're going to be declaring war against us. That's when they thought again. They were like, okay, maybe we don't want this war after all. So, had there not been Mali and Burkina Faso, these 15 other countries, we would have probably attacked Niger and reinstated President Bazoum. Fellas, the goal here was we want our country for our people. We want somebody who's going to run the country for the interest of the people. But other African brothers, other African countries did not like that. Why? Because they felt like by allowing what's happening in Niger, that's going to encourage their own people from toppling them as president. I mean, if it's happened to the neighbor, it might happen to you. So let's go to the neighbor. Let's crush whoever's standing against the neighbor so we can discourage the people in our countries. But unfortunately, there is nothing they can do about it right now. Now, the reason why they've stopped this law is because the European Union sponsored the ECOWAS countries. The European Union said ECOWAS countries should go to Niger and destroy the people in Niger and reinstate President Mohamed Bazoum, forgetting that they signed a contract with Niger, allowing Niger to stop immigrants from going to Europe. Yeah, that is shooting yourself on your foot. I mean, I think in a very clever way, Europeans should have just shut up. Okay, they should have just let it run its course. Then say, you know what, you can continue. You can be the new president. Can we just discuss a little bit? We got some money for you. Can you continue stopping those guys from coming here? I'm sure it's, you know what I mean? It would have been fine. But they stood very strong against that. They voted a law. European Union used to send money, about 500 million euros to Niger. They decided to stop the funding because they toppled the president of the country. So the new people in power say, we're going to teach you a lesson. Now we're going to let these people come to the country and let's see what you're going to do about it. Now, after that, what's happened? Nigeria cut electricity that it was providing to Niger. Very sad. As a brother, Nigeria cut electricity to Niger and disregarding the people in hospital, disregarding all these babies in these, you know, whatever you call that thing to keep them alive, disregarding people being operated, surgeries and stuff like that, disregarding all that just because they wanted Mohamed Bazoum back in power. So you telling me you love Niger so much that you want one person to get back in power? You're ready to sacrifice the life of millions of people because of one person? Does that make any sense? Doesn't make sense. So what has Niger done about it? Niger Electricity Company has decided to build its own plant. Congratulations. Yeah. The Nigerian electricity company, Niger, has commissioned a 30 megawatt photovoltaic plant to compensate for significant shortage since Nigeria stopped supplying electricity to Niger in response to the July coup. And as announced the Minister of Energy on Sunday, equipped with more than 50,000 solar panels, the plant is the largest solar energy infrastructure Niger has ever built. Congratulations, Niger. Congratulations. So, because they had no electricity, the electricity was cut by Nigeria. They've come to the solution. You know, sometimes pain gives you intelligence. Okay, sometimes you lose a job and you cry. You go like, oh, yeah. Sometimes you lose somebody really good, really nice, really important in your life, you know, and you're very sad. I'm a firm believer that those are some of the most crucial opportunities in life for you to grow. Yeah, those are the time that you need to actually exploit who you truly are. And I think it's the same thing that has happened to Niger. For all these years, they receive electricity from Nigeria. They had no issue with that. But when Nigeria cut electricity off, they found a solution for themselves. Are you telling me they were incapable of finding a solution all these years ago? No. Certainly they were capable, but there was no discomfort because Nigeria supplied electricity. When Nigeria decided to cut electricity, they woke up. They realized, you know what, we need to do something for ourselves. So photovoltaic panel are basically what many people call solar panel. Okay, and this is 50,000 solar panels, 55,000, that's a lot, supplying electricity. So for 4 months, almost all districts in Niamey have suffered significant power cut, which Nigeria stopped supplying to Niger as part of the sanction imposed in response to the coup by ECOWAS. So as a response, Nigeria imposed sanctions As per ECOWAS, they catch electricity, disregarding people in hospitals. Yes, before the coup, Nigeria supplied 70% of the shared electricity purchased by Niger. So 70% of the electricity going to Niger came from Nigeria. That's a lot. That's a lot of business. You see that? Nigeria was selling business to Niger. Now they're not going to have any business anymore. Congratulations. Very clever, right? Yeah, you shot yourself on the foot. Just like the Europeans. So we have a situation here, fellas. In retrospective, we have a situation here, fellas, where the European Union used to send money to Niger in order for Niger to block immigrants from coming to Europe. Unfortunately, instead of shutting up, they were too involved in what's happening in Niger. Now Niger said, because you cut your money, remember? You remember cutting your money? Okay, we are letting people pass Niger with no problem. Immigrants want to pass, it's fine. It's none of our business anymore. You can deal with it in Europe. So you can expect a lot of immigrants from Southern Africa to come. By the way, many of them believe the reason why you're so nice, you live nice in your country, is because you looted Africa. You looted Africa completely. So they have the rights to come and benefit from the things you looted from their countries. Number two, okay, Nigeria cut electricity because they wanted to punish them. Now they've given them the authority and the intelligence to build their own plant where they will no longer need any more electricity coming from Nigeria. How intelligent is that, fellas? Brave, isn't it? Thank you very much. Let me know how you feel about this. Is this the way Africa should move? I mean, it's just amazing. All struggles are not there to destroy you. I firmly believe some struggles are there to grow you. This is the example Niger is providing for all of us. God bless.